Have you ever looked at your analytics in YouTube and wondered, why am I doing this? When the numbers aren't there, when the click through rates aren't there, and the views aren't there, and the subscribers aren't there, or at least not what you thought they'd be. Did you ever just feel like quitting and saying, is it worth it? Is it worth all the time and effort? Is it worth all the worry and anxiety? Is it worth me pushing myself past my comfort zone? Is it worth putting myself out there? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. So if you've ever felt those ways, then this is the video for you. Keep watching. As I was preparing for the second part of chapter 8 of the YouTube Secrets book that talk about the metrics that matter, I looked at my metric to see if I could use them as an example of someone who's applied some of the principles and made an improvement. And I was shocked because I hadn't really been looking at my long form videos. I had been putting out a lot of shorts and I didn't see that much of an improvement. So I couldn't use myself as an example. And I felt so discouraged. I thought, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through so much turmoil and not getting the results that I wanted as fast as I wanted? So if you're feeling a little bit the same way, you're a new content creator, or you just started your YouTube channel and you've put in a lot of time and effort and it's a big, learning curve, learning all kinds of new terms and new skills and, kind of the newness is worn off and you've pushed through all those things that were really tough. And you're kind of faced with the reality that it will take time. And I think I had an unrealistic expectation after seeing other new creators who are in the same niche as I am, about the same age, getting monetized more quickly. And I kept comparing myself to them and thinking that it should happen to me too. Like I deserve this because I've been working hard. I just felt like quitting. So I shut off my computer and I looked out the window and thought, well, I don't even know if I want to continue doing this. And a couple things came to mind. One is I felt like I had actually lost my initial reason, my inspiration for why I wanted a YouTube channel. I wanted to start a YouTube channel because in my retirement, I wanted to connect with like-minded people. I wanted to be able to have a creative outlet. I wanted to be able to share some of my experiences and help people that were just a few steps behind me, just like other new content creators had helped me who were a few steps in front of me. And I thought it was just an opportunity for growth and change and kind of reclaim a purpose and a meaning in my life. And then I got caught up, I got swept up in the tsunami of analytics and, views and subscribers, and definitely want to be monetized. One of the different forms, there are many different forms of monetization, but I became so focused on achieving that goal that I kind of I abandoned, or not really abandoned, but the reasons why I initially wanted to start a YouTube channel ended up in the back seat. And what was driving me forward was the results and the numbers. So this was a good time for me to stop and remember why I wanted to build a channel and reconnect with that. And it really is going to help me crash through the quitting places, because this is definitely a quitting place for me. When I first started, and even for several weeks, I felt like, this is something that I was called to do. I was just, so inspired, and I was set. I'm like, this is something that has been placed deep within me. And then I got frozen. I just got so swept up in all of the stuff swirling around me that I forgot why I was doing this. And I felt a little overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by the amount of information, trying to put all these different things into practice. And I forgot that this is a time for me to learn. It's almost like going to college and, learning and taking baby steps and just improving each video by 1% and getting back to the core of why I wanted to start a YouTube channel was to help others and to help myself grow and to challenge myself. And I've certainly grown so much in the past few weeks. And it really helped me keep my sanity while I was recovering in the late stages of my recovery from foot surgery. But it's like all the wind got taken out of my sails and I just didn't feel like I had the motivation to keep going. I started thinking about, all the value that other people had to bring to YouTube and that I didn't feel like I had that much value. So I was reading this book. Anyway, so I shut off my computer, I looked out the window and I thought, am I going to continue? And I started thinking about this book, The Dip by Seth Godin, that I believe, I can't remember who it was, but a content creator I've been following suggested it. And it talked about how there's a dip. You can see this when you start something, you experience this dip. And Seth Godin theorizes that the dip is the long slog between starting and mastery. A long slog that's actually a shortcut because it gets you where you want to go faster than any other path. And he talks about how the dip, it kind of winnows people out. Do you really want something? If you really want something and you want to be the best at what you do, then you proceed through the dip. You don't stop. You just keep going. It'll get you where you want to go. And I thought, well, I'm in the dip. This is it. Am I going to keep going or I'm going to stop? And I thought, I don't want to quit because I would always wonder what could have happened. Where could this channel have gone? How many people could be affected by this that, like you who are watching, that if I stop, won't be affected or won't be encouraged to keep going. And then I also thought about something that Alexis Saranayev, a content creator I follow, said in a recent video. It's like your videos, you make your videos and then you release them and you don't keep checking the analytics. You don't keep worrying about them. You just let them go. They're like seeds. You're planting seeds. When you plant seeds, you plant them, or even more so in nature. Nature sends out seeds. Trees send out the seeds. The flowers, they send out the seeds. They swirl around in the air. You don't know where they're going to land. You don't know if they're going to take root and grow up to become anything. But when they do, the ones that do, they grow to be something of great value. And that's kind of like with our videos. I just got to let it go and hope and pray that it'll land in some good soil and it'll take root and grow and be of value to those who are watching it. And I really am trying to create evergreen content so that it's something that'll be of value for a long time to come. So I thought about those two things. And then, a third thing I thought of was there's a neuroscientist who came up with this idea of, instead of a linear way of thinking and living our lives where you plan something, you have a goal, and you take this step and that step and this step and that step, and then you get to your end point of success. She calls it the experiential way of living, where what you do is you come up with an idea and you want to, as a scientist, you're going to collect data. So you come up with an idea and you set a time limit. You said, okay, I'm going to try this for a certain period of time. You set a pact with yourself. So I'm going to, for my YouTube videos channel, I'm going to make at least one video a week for the next 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, I'm going to collect the data and rate on the experience. Was it positive? Was it negative? I'm going to have some markers against that. And at the end of 6 months, I'm going to decide, do I want to keep going with this? Am I getting the value out of it? Have I grown? Is it worth it? Is the strain worth the gain? And I thought, yeah, that if I quit now, it wouldn't make sense. I need to set a time and give it a chance. And then at the end of that time, you can reevaluate at the end of your pact. You can reevaluate if you want to keep going. So I thought, okay, I'll do that and I'll evaluate. Do I want to keep going? And as my dad says all the time, everything in life is just baby steps. He's like, just take little baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, and you're going to get where you want to go. So after looking out the window and thinking about those things, I thought, nope, I'm going to do it. I just need to do it. So I turned my computer back on. I recorded this video about metrics that matter. And it's very dry. And I feel like I'm really very boring on camera too. So I've got to up my camera presence. But, it's about metrics. And unless you really love data and metrics, it's something that, can be challenging to explain. But it is part of the book. So I wanted to include that. And I felt great. I was like, oh, I felt so good. It was like crashing through that quitting place. I didn't want to do the video. I did it anyway. Is it good? I don't know. I have to edit it, but not that great. But I did it. And I'm going to edit it. I'm going to post it and then be done with it and send it out. What the biggest thing was? Is I crashed through the quitting place. And I feel so relieved. And I feel so great that I did that and rose to the challenge. And you can too. And you have a voice. You have experiences that no one else has had. You have a presence that no one else has. And you could make the exact same videos that everyone else makes, although I wouldn't suggest you do that. But because of you, who you are and your life and what you've experienced, you're going to reach people that no one else can reach. And there are people out there waiting. They're waiting for you. They're waiting to hear your story. They're waiting to hear things in a way that only you can say it. Just like you're listening to me right now, and you're listening to me because there's things that only I can say based on the experiences I've had and because of the stages I am in, life. So I just want to encourage you to keep going and crash through that quitting place. And don't give up just because you feel discouraged or you feel sad or you feel like crying or you feel frustrated. Take a break. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. Find some good books, inspiration. Find some inspirational creators. I'll leave some in the links below. And know that there are people out there waiting to hear your voice. And things are happening in their lives to get them ready to hear the lessons that you have to teach and to experience who you are. So thank you so much for watching. Keep going. Take care.